the very end. Okay, our practice problems. Oh, nope, I guess this one doesn't have it. I thought this one had some definitions, some terms. That was the math review. And then mathematical conventions will look somewhat similar to this. This is only 11 pages long. I think it's 11 pages. The conventions they're talking about are the rules that we follow, and we keep them consistent throughout, so we all do the same things. And so they talk about, for example, the second statement, numbers are expressed in base 10 unless otherwise noted. We have different bases we can use, but they're all base 10. That's what we're familiar with. When a positive integer is described by the number of its digits, a two-digit integer, the digits that are counted include the ones digit and the digits farther to the left. Just talking about different things that we do. You know, 1 dozen means 12. 1 billion is 1 with 9 zeros, or 10 to the 9. Repeating decimals, the meaning of those. Least common multiple. So you have all the definitions and the different rules that you follow in mathematics listed here. Symbols. Very important one at the top of the screen. Mathematical expressions are to be interpreted with respect to the order of operations. What order do we do calculations in if we're given a mixture of addition, subtraction, multiplication, exponents, parentheses, and so on. More symbols. Some of these dealing with geometry, parallel, perpendicular. We have our different square roots, our absolute value, the greater than less than sign, approximately equal to. Geometry. What do we mean by a closed figure or not closed figure? Figures that are not convex, figures that are convex. And what do those things mean? Angle measure. Illustrate some of the conventions. Consider these geometric, consider the geometric figure below. And they tell you some different things about what to expect from this. Looking at the angle, the length of DC is 6. The angle at angle C, or at vertex C, is 35 degrees, and so on. Angle X is ABD, but then they show a little rectangle up at angle B, which shows that it's a right angle. So you can get information from that picture. What can we not determine from the figure? Coordinate system, the quadrants of a coordinate system. How to identify points, the point 2, -8. Set notation. Over here we have set notation, we have A and B with the intersection symbol, the union symbol. What do those mean? Intersection, they have to belong to both sets at the same time. Union, they belong to one set or the other or both. Mutually disjoint sets. Usually are disjoint sets, mutually exclusive sets. Average, arithmetic mean, mean the same thing. The median, what is the median? What's the mode of the data? Quartiles, what do they mean? Hopefully if you had stats you can remember some of those and be refreshed on those ideas. Probability distributions. Especially when we get down to some of these notations, like P of X, the probability that X occurs. P of A, probability that A occurs. Standard normal distribution. Again, if you had stats, then hopefully you remember some of this information. But we have a standard normal distribution, mean of 0, standard deviation of 1. Here's the percentage of breakdown in each of those areas of the curve. Talks about probability. And more algebraic type discussion. You know, consecutive, first two consecutive integers greater than n. Well, consecutive means they're going to follow, n plus 1, n plus 2, add 1, add 2 to it, and so on. A lot of information in there. The part that I don't want to open up for you, because I don't know what it would do to my ability to get back in later, is that we should have, I believe it's under here with prepare for the test, I believe we eventually have a place to take the practice test. That was the right place. And I think it's still in the prepare for, and then going down to taking the tests. Yeah, can't find that link now. But again, you have practice tests that are included in it. So my main information for you is to get a hold of some type of practice materials, the booklets, the ets.org website. If you get on ets.org website, you can download PowerPrep 2 software, which is basically on my machine. That's what I've been showing you. You have the CDs and the books there. That should have the same thing. And become as familiar as you can with the information. If you need help in learning some mathematics, hopefully you've taken the courses you need and you don't really need as much help to get brushed up on it. But there are, we're available sometimes for questions if you have specific questions. Can't come in and say, hey, teach me everything. It's too long. But if you say, I just still don't understand this geometry concept, I'll be happy to help you with that. We have tutoring in the department, but it's mainly for our classes, so you probably can't really take advantage of the tutoring that we have there. If you know people that know math, some of the physics people or some of the math people, or a friend of yours, or maybe you're really good at it and help other people, you can get help from them too. I would become as familiar as I could with the format of the test, be familiar with the conventions. If you take the practice test and do fine, maybe that's a good indication that you're ready. But I would get as comfortable as you can with the format of the test and the types of questions that you're being asked. Do you have any questions? Yes?
Do you know if there's like trading calc questions on the GRE?
I don't believe there are. The only ones that we saw on there seemed to and the information that we saw was more algebraic, geometric, and then also the number sense type things, and then the data. So I didn't see anything. I haven't really seen anything like that with that. Check on the geometry if there's some trig involved there. There may be some basic trig. Yes, another question.
Do you know if the practice test will actually give you a score for the quantitative reasoning?
I didn't use the practice test, just like I said, I don't want to really mess anything up when I get into it. But I believe what they'll do is actually give you, it'll be conducted pretty much like a test. You get done and time out of it, or if you take it as with untime, I believe it's going to tell you what you did right and wrong on it. Or I'll give you a score for it, and I think because it's a practice one, you'll get some feedback. I believe so, but I haven't played with that, so I didn't know.
I took the practice and it gave me, it didn't exactly score it, but it gave me a general idea of where I was.
Did it show you which ones you got right and wrong?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Through the GRE website, I think. I don't know if
Did the GRE website actually have the practice test too on there?
I bought something with it,
okay.
So
okay.
That's how I got mine.
Okay, because I didn't know if the ETS.org website had practice tests on it. I'd never seen that, but the PowerPrep does, so I've always been promoting that on there. But I think if you pay for something, you can get whatever. Other questions? Okay, if you have any individual questions, I'll stick around for a while. Otherwise, thanks for coming and good luck when you take the test.